This is the video for K into practical task. Our project is audio-based probing of the environment. The premise of this project is to find out relations between smartphone users. One implementation can be finding out the contrast between the user's activity and the surrounding users. This task can be solved by actively probing the user's environment, for instance, playing audio signals and recording them at the same time. The collected samples would be then preprocessed and classified on the phone. Our project has two main goals. The first goal is to build an Android app which has two roles. One role determines the surrounding phones using Wi-Fi and broadcasts a message to record the audio. It then plays a Gaussian noise for 5 seconds. The second role of the app receives the broadcast message and starts recording. It stops after 5 seconds interval and stores the audio file in a lossless format. The second goal of the project is sample gathering, where we need to run the app in our Android devices. Now, coming to the implementation part, there is a server component which records the sound in a lossless format and a client component which plays the Gaussian sound. At first, server and client publishes their own local service. The server, in addition, also publishes its Android ID. Both then tries to discover each other using Wi-Fi P2P network service discovery. The server starts its service and creates a server socket and searches for the client service. The client also starts its service and begins discovering other server service available. When both discovers each other, the client saves the device address and the Android ID of the server device in a list with a connected status as no. This is a device list management thread running in client which runs and checks the available device in every 2 seconds periodically. If there is any device in the list which is not connected, it tries to connect with the server using P2P Wi-Fi direct. Then it sets the status in the list as ongoing and goes into a loop. Then it then checks if the status has changed from ongoing to no or yes in every 4 seconds. If P2P connection is established, the client makes a socket connection with server and tries to establish a three-way handshaking using the sending message. At first, client sends a request to server. If server is not engaged with other client, it replies with a positive message, else with a negative message. If client receives a negative message, it or already in communication with other server, it sets the status of the server device from ongoing to no. If client receives a positive reply from server, it replies with a confirmation message and starts playing sound. After receiving confirmation from client, the server starts recording sound. Each message contains server Android ID, so both knows from where it got a particular message. The server saves the recording in the SD card in the specified format and stops itself. The client changes the connection status of the device from ongoing to yes and closes the socket connection. It then restarts its service. The device list management thread begins same procedure again if other device is available in the device list. And in between, if for any other reason the connection status changes from ongoing to no, then also client starts the same procedure. Now coming to the result of our project, the app we have built has a single activity which is 4 buttons for starting and stopping the server and client respectively. The server and client cannot be run simultaneously from the same device. We simulated the test scenario where there are 2 devices, one running server and another client. Then we were able to play and record the Gaussian sound. In another scenario, there are 2 servers and 1 client. The client connects and plays sound for both the servers separately. The servers record and saves the sound. Here, the client picks any of the servers which is available to discover first and communicates with it, and then communicates with the other server. And finally, we will be showing the demo of this Android app. So this is the first demo where we will show the first scenario connecting between one server and one client. The server, we will start using the start server button, and then we will start the client using the start client button. After this, it triggers a connection for Wi-Fi direct in between the server and the client. So this is how we connect using Wi-Fi direct, and then it triggers a message to record the sound from the client device. The sound is being played and it's been saved in the server device. The recording has been finished. Now the sound is saved in the SD card. So this is the sound where it is saved, and we can play the sound. And that's the first scenario, connecting between a server and a client.
So this is the second scenario where we have two servers and one client. So first here we'll start the first server, and then we will start the client, and then we will see how the sound is being recorded by the server. And then we'll start the second server from the second Android device, and here the client connects to the second server now. So now we have the client connecting to the second server and recording the sound. We will now see the files being saved in both the servers. So here the sound will play from this server. So now we have the client connecting, and then we will see the sound play in another server. So this is how the client connects to both the servers when it has been started.